Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my YouTube adventure together, simulcast together, obviously. This is Dr. Gaze 101. I'd like to respond to a video response or a video of itself from Shawn James once again. Hello again, Shawn James. Now, he's kind of right on this matter. He made this video about back in earlier today of April 17th, 2021. Employers say there's a worker shortage and that they cannot find work to take their jobs. Now, I have to say, Mr. James, you're right for the matter. Now, I will not say I haven't searched for jobs since 2008, of the 2008 economic crisis, but I've been had jobs since as early as 2002. And I was 14 when I was in 2002. I had a part-time job for a few days that didn't last long. No big deal. I moved on. 2, 3, 4 years later, I got this other job at Subway Sandwiches that didn't go so well. He didn't want to hire me properly. Tell me I should clean some toilets. That's about it. Kind of lost that job based on my own merit and my own pride, I guess you could say. Never listen to your uncles. Yeah, if your uncle's telling you that not dishwashing or work fast food, he's lying to you because you need to work at the bottom in order to get to the top. So anyway, get back on point. After all these years, before the 2008-2009 economic crisis, I had a job or two, told my owner at the time I'm going to college months ahead of time. He assumed that I walked off the job, which was kind of strange because I told him that I'm going to college in a few weeks, a few months, even though I lost the opportunity to go there past summer of 2005. So I went to the spring of 2006. So that's another thing right there. And, you know, employers have to learn one thing, though. If you really want employees, you have to hire employees that will willing to work for you. That's just by default, the thing. And my most recent job searching experience since 2000 and was it not even a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I started applying for work, and all these scammers, all these jobs like you see posters that you get work for $20, $30 an hour. So I applied for those jobs, and it's all about Telegram this. Put out checks in your check deposit box. That's all that scamming stuff. I'm not into that stuff, and it gets boring after a while. It gets tiresome after a while. People want to look for work. I'm not saying you want to get people to have money in your pockets, whatever, as scammers. But come on now, scammers. This is not the year 2021. This is not 2005 anymore. The scamming part is over. Everything is tracked online. What you do. I still have to check to the scammer that tried to put money into my checking account, knowing that if I put it in my checking account physically, deposit the check into my checking account, he'll have access to my checking account and take money out of my account, just as one of these matters at hand. So that's one of the reasons why employers got to learn that you're being tainted by other supposed employers who are scammers. If you don't get the proper workers get those jobs, the workers will deny themselves work, and that's one of the reasons why there's less and less work out there, because there's more and more scammers out there asking for, pay $2,500 for this job and you'll get a job, or some shit like that, or put this money into your checking account and you'll get money out of it, or some shit like that. Like, we don't have time for that. It's either going to give us a job for $15 an hour, $10 an hour, $9 an hour, whichever comes first, because obviously the New York, New York is about $12 an hour, but as of 2021, that is. And the United States federal wage is $7.25 still. So okay, no big deal, right? I can work for $8 an hour, something like that, for fast food again. Why not? Just to make a few bucks in my pocket, pay off some bills, get the PS5, pay off my student loans, get my student loan from my other job, my other school for 2016 that's still hounding me as of 2018. So, this is what I have to say, guys, that if you're an employer out there looking for work, and I'm one of those workers, please let me know that I'm serious. Because there's this one example, I applied for Olive Garden. I will admit that. Why not? I'm not getting no job anytime soon. I mean, I'm on some form of benefits. I will admit that I paid into over the years working serious jobs before the scammers took over. But back in earlier this month, I applied for this Olive Garden job for dishwasher. So they said, okay, hey, I like to have a phone interview. I said, okay, yeah, I have a phone interview. They call me, tell me how what I want from it, etc., etc. And then they said they'll call me in a few days for a second phone interview. They call me for a second phone interview, but the person who called was a different caller, telling me I should call back. I should call back around Monday or Tuesday, which is last week. So I called back Monday and Tuesday. I said to another manager or a supervisor, whoever it was, tell me, oh, you should come in person for today, whatever. I was like, why should I? Because I already had two phone interviews. Are you hiring or not? And I said, well, we're not sure yet. So I said, okay, have a nice day. Because there's no organization in these job searches. There's no organization in these job availabilities for us workers. Sure, Charles, why you gotta work? You got money in your pocket. Not much. And the other side of the argument, or people on the other side of the situation be like, oh, Charles, you're a slacker. You're getting money from the government. I was like, yeah, because so supposedly a Social Security disability program. It's a program for people who put into the system who gets out of the system. You reap what you sow. That's what happens when in Social Security. It's like a trust fund. You have to understand, people, not every single person who gets benefits from the government is a slacker or is a moocher or whatever you're thinking of. But now, oh, if I wasn't taking that money, you look at me as like a still a lazy person no matter what, because I haven't gotten a job yet. But it's kind of strange. The last time I worked was back in 2018. So, and I actually got the job legitimately through Macy's or whatever. That's about it, These jobs are good to have. The problem is that I wasn't physically capable of the jobs after a while. Your body breaks down after a while. Age, your weight, the food that put into the system, these chemicals, whatever you want to call it, the fluoride, the bromide, all this stuff. And it's like, I'm not trying to blame society or blame the powers that be at will. But something has to give to where it's like, you want us to be healthy as Americans, but our supply of food is such a horrendous state here in the United States with all this food, junk food, from fast food to produce that's been eaten up by pesticides and killed by bugs and stuff like that. All well and good, but they're eating the insides of us people who eat too much of the food that has pesticides in them. And that's usually the lettuce, the corn, the salads, and stuff like that. And then go to the meats, like the beef, chicken, pork. They have all the hormones, the growth hormones and stuff like that beef up people, or make people fat, or make people sluggish, or have meat sweats and stuff like that. And it's like where does it end, guys? Where does it end to the point that you want workers, but you don't want to dedicate to your workers? You don't want to show loyalty. You don't want to show no respect. You don't want to show nothing to your workers. Like, you want to treat them as bullshitters, or just like crap, whatever. And that's ridiculous right there. I have to say, that's ridiculous, because I understand I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be looking for the perfect worker or perfect co-workers or perfect, even the perfect manager, for example. But don't have a manager try to start a fight with you. Like, you are an idiot for starting a manager to start a fight with you. If you're a manager doing that to me on the job, that happened to me back in 2016, working for some kitchen plant company for airline foods, whatever. And I was like, okay, this job may be not bad, but then they don't know what to do with me. They don't know how me work, whatever. They work me in random places. I'm like, well, this is not what I'm expecting. And every single job that accepts me in, there's some problem with the job, because they don't tell me what's up with the job. They don't describe to me what to do with the job. What is my actual constant role, my constant ability, my constant job or task at hand. You can't just put me in random places. Like, there's no organization off the job, and there's no purpose of the job. I'm leaving. You're wasting my time. Oh, sure, I'll get money in the end, or I will get money if I keep working at the job. But you're not being serious with me. And I think it's because of the fact that I have the YouTube channel. That's why that I don't have a proper job since 2015. Because I've been on YouTube since early as 2008 making videos. Not as many or as much up until after 2009 when I lost my job. I lost my my airline job actually back in April of 2009, and by I would say by July or June, I started making more videos in a serious note and not archiving, but leaving my videos up on YouTube with no remorse, no regrets, and nothing like that. So, but yeah, Shawn, working is a good thing, guys. It's always will be a good thing to work. You get purpose, you get money, you get adulation, respect from your supervisors and your other parts of the authoritative structure of the employment system of the company. It's just that it's hard to find that job that's going to pay you, and not only that pay you, but also keep you. Because I'm not going to waste my time going to a job, going to get these interviews, get the job, and then days later they fire me or they let me go or whatever the case may be because they don't need me. Like, you guys should have known about my personality on YouTube, or you should know about my whatever you hear about me. Like, I'm not trying to say that I'm not allowed to have a job because of my YouTube career or my youth career, quote unquote, because it's kind of strange because this is just the internet. I'm a guy on the internet talking my own opinion to some other guy who's on doing the same thing I'm doing. The only thing, he has more experience with me this than ever than me. And I think he's like, Mr. Shawn, you're in your 40s. I'm 33 years old, so I'm right behind you on the matter. So I'm experiencing what he's experiencing, people. These are us black men, black or not, with rich or poor, we're men in general talking about our experiences and what we did with the job. It may not be perfect, it may not be may sound we're complaining, but we're more just telling you the truth of things, and hopefully the on the other side of things, whether you're the employer, whether you're the coworker, whether you're whoever, these future jobs, whatever, you will at least give us a chance to work with us, and that's a tattletale on us, not to report us. That's what happened to a job of I worked at. I worked as well as a job. It's for like one of those valet parking companies. I admit that was too big for it because I got big over the years, but my license was still legitimate up until from 2007 until 2016. So during that time, I was a lot smaller. I was getting bigger, but still say maintain a weight, whatever. But one thing leads to another. I see that I couldn't fit into most cars. Most of the jobs that they wanted to do were very menial tasks on my own, but the person who was to train me couldn't speak English properly or refused to tell him what to do because that's not his job. He's just a worker like me. So whoever these workers are, they tell me I'm not doing my job, I'm lazy, I'm sleeping a lot, and it's like, if I really am sleeping a lot, then where were you when I was sleeping? Where were you when I was working hard? Where was you when I was doing this and that and the other thing? There was nothing to do for at least 3 to 5 hours during that time. The first 3 hours were okay. We're all right because obviously everyone's trying to move their cars into for the night, whatever. By morning time, everyone wants to get their car into the lot, into the parking garage, that type of stuff. So it's like, I mean, I meant that was a wrong job for me because obviously I got so big and yeah. Oh, Charles, just lose some weight. Yes, at 6'7". Imagine that. 6 feet 7 inches tall. That's very tall to be fit into any car in New York City. Guys, this is not. I thought I can. Here's because I have a license back then. Now I don't. I have a driver. I have a non-driver's ID. I gave up on that aspect of that particular work. It's all about hit and misses. Nothing isn't perfect. Nothing isn't going to help you through thoroughly well in life. But sooner or later, something has to give. We have to come to some agreement between us employers and employees, or job seekers and employers at least, that we cannot just do what we want to do. We cannot just. You cannot just tell us that, oh, you have to work 16 hours a day, otherwise you're not going to keep this job any longer. Like, that don't make any sense. Like, I'm supposed to work by 8 to 12 hours, 13 at best, 14, whatever, and that's it, But then again, when you have not worked as often for the last 10 years, like Shawn and I has, it gets to you. It really does. It really does catches up to you over time because You know, who wants to hire a worker that has speaks his mind? Who wants to hire a worker that can think clearly on their own? Who wants to have a worker that does not that questions their pay all the time, or question about the fact that when is the next shift and when is that shift coming, and if we are going to work that shift, how long we're going to work that shift? And to ask that question to the employer or to that manager, supervisor, you name it, whoever's in charge of the scheduler. So it happens sometimes, not all the time, but I eventually gave up mainly looking for work, and stuck with my benefits, as well as my YouTube gaming career, and stopped at Games 101. You can see here. As you can tell, I haven't talked or made videos for the last several days because I lack the material for it, and as you can see, I do have something to talk about, and these are one of these things I want to talk about too sometimes. You know, this is ridiculous that we as former employees of these prestigious companies, whether it's for McDonald's, Burger King, or even a company like JP Morgan Chase, or even Bloomingdale's or Macy's, like I worked for in the past. Bloomingdale's I worked for about almost a year, but they gotten worse and worse with not conditions per se. The conditions were not balancing the pay properly, because I was making like $10 an hour at first, but then the benefits are kicking in and it taking more and more out of my check, and I'm only getting $250 a week. So breaking your back for $250 a week is not worth it. And by the time I wait until things change, it'll be until next year or two. So it's like, and this is back in 2008. I can't imagine how that's in 2021 with Bloomingdale's. Now it sounds like if I'm bad mouthing them, or that I breached the non-disclosure agreement, but that's bullshit, because it's freedom of speech, and things have changed over the last 10 years. So, alright guys, I thank you for watching my video. Please thumbs up, subscribe and share, donate to my Patreon, Dr. Games 101. If you want to donate by PayPal, Cash App, everything's down below in the description box. If you cannot donate, share my videos, share Shawn James' videos as well for the video response in conjunction to this. Everything will be in the description box down below for the video response, the video I responded to, and everything else. So, alright guys, see you around. Bye. Thank you, Mr. James.